The next component of WordPress that I want to talk with you about is the WordPress widget. A widget is a small block of code that performs a specific function. You can add widgets into sidebars. These are also known as widgetized areas of your web page or widget ready areas. So I can add widgets into the sidebar, and many times you can add them into the footer of your site as well. It does depend on the theme as to which areas have been made widgetized as to where you can actually incorporate widgets into your website. Widgets are really created to provide a simple and easy way to add design and structure and control to your WordPress theme. Widgets are something that you can easily incorporate by dragging them and dropping them into the specific widgetized areas. You can find widgets in your theme by going into your admin section, going to Appearance, and clicking on the widget area. Once you do this, it's going to take you to your widget manager. Most themes that WordPress uses are widget ready, and they usually have multiple widget areas. However, some themes may not have the same sorts of widget areas, so it's always a good idea to decide on your theme prior to be adding widgets, just in case that theme doesn't support widgets. There's all sorts of different types of widgets. By default, WordPress comes with several widgets, including things like categories, tag cloud, a navigation menu, calendar, search, recent posts, pages, RSS, things like that. The widgets are mostly little standalone areas of code that perform a certain function. It is possible that sometimes plugins might add their own widgets that give you further control over the display of plugin functionality, but we'll talk about plugins in another video. So for now, let's talk about how we can incorporate widgets. In this specific theme, I have three areas that are widgetized. I have the sidebar, and you can see that it's going to list the specific widgets that are showing up. So if we look in our website, here's search, here's recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, meta, and that's pretty much it for the sidebar. If we go back into the admin section, you can also see that I have the ability to add widgetized elements to the content bottom 2 and to content bottom 1. So these are both locations where I can add widgets. What I'm going to do in my site is I'm going to remove things that I'm not using. So I will keep the search. I'm going to get rid of recent comments, and if I want to get rid of something, you just drag it from the widgetized area to the left and it just deactivates it. I'm also going to get rid of archives, categories, and meta. So I just want to have search and recent posts. I am going to add some other customized things here, and one of those things that I want to add is going to be text. So in order to incorporate this, I'm going to grab the text widget element and drag it into my file. Now I'm going to put text in between search and recent posts. You can see that once I do this, the window has expanded and I have the ability to add some content. So I'm going to give a title to this section, and we're going to go ahead and just put some content into the widget that talks about who we are. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I want to show you what it's going to look like in our site. Once I've saved it, I can minimize the widget, and I'm going to go back to the front end of my website, and you can see now when I refresh the page that I have this section on who we are. I do want to point out that by default, you'll notice that this just comes in as one paragraph, where in my admin section, I had actually created 2 paragraphs of text. By default, you will not see paragraphs unless you add paragraph tags. So I could add HTML paragraph tags around these areas to force it to make paragraphs, or we can check this box down at the bottom that says automatically add paragraphs, and that will automatically apply formatting. It is worth noting that if you did want to make some of this text stand out in a specific way, you could add other standard HTML tags. So I'm going to make the Sea Creature Saver name appear bold. I'll click Save, and we'll go back to the front end of the website and refresh, and you can see that now this section has 2 paragraphs and the Sea Creature Saver is bold. So we've gone ahead and made some changes to the sidebar. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some widgetized areas to the bottom of my website. I'll go back into the admin section and I'm going to add something into the content bottom one. We're going to just repeat our menu. So I'm going to go ahead and use the custom menu widget. And what I can do here is give this a title if necessary. In this case, I'm not going to offer a title, but I am going to select the menu. So our site currently only has the main menu. I will select this and I'll click Save. In addition to that, I'm going to add another text box here. And this one is just going to have our copyright information. And I'll save that as well. And then let's go see what this looks like in the front end part of our website. I'm going to refresh my website and you'll note that you actually don't see anything on our home page. That's because this specific theme that we're using only supports the content bottom on sections that are posts and pages. Currently, the home page of our website is actually not a page or a post. It's a collection of posts, but it's not necessarily a post. If we go to one of our specific posts and I scroll down, now you can see that we do have the menu and the copyright, the items that we had incorporated into this bottom area. If I go to one of my pages, you'll see that it also appears here. The way in which these elements appear is controlled by the theme, and we're going to talk more about that later. So for now, we're just talking about the elements that we can add. Some themes and some plugins will add additional widgets to this area, but by default, these are the widgets that are going to show up and will be commonly available with most themes. Widgets are a great way that you can affect the appearance of your website and have your website incorporate different sorts of tasks that will enable your user to better use your site.